I was actually having a conversation with someone this morning, and he had told me, he goes, I just need to figure out why my life's like this, why, and I go, pardon the French, but fuck why.
Yeah. What is up, you guys? Welcome back to the #1 mental health and addiction podcast, the Hopeaholics. I am your girl, Natalie Eva Marie, and these are my boys.
I'm Chad.
I'm at Shane Earn, baby.
Hell
Bash
yeah.
Brothers.
Make sure you guys like, subscribe, and follow us on our socials and wherever you get your podcasts.
And remember, new episodes dropping every Tuesday and Friday. Check them out.
This episode is brought to you by the Infinity Group. You guys, if you or a loved one is suffering, please call us today. The number is right here on the screen. We are here for you 24/7. Now, let's get into the episode.
Danny,
Yes.
welcome to the Hopeaholics Podcast.
Hey, thank you.
Yeah, welcome.
I'm glad I'm here.
Welcome to
Thank
the
you.
chaos.
Yeah.
All right. This is great.
You have entered the chaotic room of chaos.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Controlled.
Perfect.
What are the
Controlled chaos.
What are the chances next time your guy's taking a picture, he gives me a little cue so I can get in on it?
Perfect. Just
Give me one of
oh
these,
yeah.
bro.
Okay, right here.
Give me one of those.
Yeah.
There we go.
All right, here we go.
He's doing it. He's doing it.
1, 2, 3, go.
Bam.
One more. 1, 2, 3, go. Okay.
All right.
Awesome.
Nice.
Great.
There we go.
Not sure if I was in it or
You
not.
were.
but-
Yeah.
You were.
Oh.
You were.
I'm not,
Yeah, we were all in it.
but,
We're having fun.
so
Yeah, man, we want to, be on your socials because you're going to be on ours.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
So
Yeah.
that's how this whole deal works.
All right.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Heard a lot of great things about you, brother.
Me too.
Thank you. Yeah, I just, something that's just it's just important to carry a message, and I really believe in transformation and change, because we've all had some different pasts.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people out there struggling. So that's my main thing is either carrying the message or helping the new guy.
Yeah.
Super important.
I got the pleasure to hear him speak on a Saturday night after
Yeah.
our first Recover Out Loud Huntington Beach. meeting.
Right.
Yep.
Good.
At a church
Yeah.
Okay.
in Rancho,
Tribuco.
Is it
Is it
open?
Tribuco?
It's a Rancho Santa Margarita.
Rancho Santa Margarita.
By Tribuco. Yeah.
Is it an open meeting?
That was just a kind of a testimony thing, just carrying a message and then talking about my foundation, Standing United, and just letting some people know.
So tell us about your parents.
Okay, my parents. Okay.
Are we live?
Yeah, we're fucking live, bro.
How far
Yeah.
back are we going?
We are live right now.
Okay, my mom was a Superior Court judge.
Wow.
And my father, my real father, he passed away when I was 8 months old, so I never met him. It was an accident. And but I had a stepfather when I was 7, and he was a Laguna Beach police officer.
Wow.
And my mom was a judge and an attorney, and that's who I grew up with.
You guys,
That's why.
You guys see why I asked that question, right? Because I already knew.
I
the
thought he
answer.
was joking. I thought this was just his humor, and he
No,
he was
that-
starting
that-
up.
that-
But then
that-
when he went, my father died at 8 months. I said, "No, this is real."
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
this is.
yeah.
Wow.
I
Me up a little bit.
Wow.
I knew
Well,
the
I have
answer to that, and
Yeah,
I.
it's crazy. You know what went into my head was like, ooh, that's actually amazing because I would be able to utilize without having those parents to break the law.
Well, it helped in the beginning of my journey. It really helped, I would just go to court and my mom would show up and then they're like, oh, okay, here you go, you're getting out, and it's fine. But then after about the 20th time, that card wasn't working. It just was not working. And it didn't work. And then I left home and, I chose to leave beautiful Newport Beach, to find better places like Anaheim and Garden Grove and ran around there. Yeah, I don't.
No.
Yeah,
I've
I
been
did.
there.
I did. Garden Grove, Anaheim.
Garden Grove's like it's really bad down there right now. We Shane and I play basketball at the map.
Yeah.
Center, and
That's it. Yeah. Crazy.
I mean, it's like literally guys are shooting fucking
Right there.
fentanyl
right under the
on.
bridge.
Yeah, right there. just out in the open, like it's nothing.
That's a 22 right there.
Wait,
Yeah.
but I want to know. Okay, so siblings,
I have one brother.
older, younger.
He's 2 years older to the day.
Okay.
And he didn't. I mean, we had the same childhood,
Yep.
same everything, but he didn't get this thing that I got. You know,
That always fascinates me because, like, I'm one of four, and for us, we have the thing, like, all four of us.
Yeah.
Even though, like, some like to say no, they don't, but have that, like, just addiction gene
Yeah.
in them for sure. But then, I've met other people that are like yourself, where you have multiple siblings, and
Yeah.
one ends up with that ism, and the other ones are totally like normies.
Yeah, he just, he turned out, he went down the same thing, drugs and alcohol and doing weird stuff, but it never stuck with him like it did with me. And then one time, I think it was this last rehab, at my 10th rehab, he told me, he goes, see, Dan, he asked me really, he goes, why are you going to another rehab? Like, why are you going to another rehab? He goes, how many rehabs have you done at this point? And I'm like, I think this is like my 10th. And he goes, yeah, rehabs don't work for you. He goes, what you have to do is you have to hate it. You have to hate drugs. And then I thought to myself, I'm like, I don't really have that hate for him.
Yeah.
I wish I could muster that hate for him, but I didn't. I hated my life at times, but I just didn't. I didn't have that. So he's a normie, and he wound up getting off of drugs and just drinking. And then he, just drinks. And, I knew that I had a problem a little bit different than him when we went to the bar. And I walked into the bar, and then I ordered a couple shots, 1800, take them down. And then I ordered Jack and Coke, and then I ordered something else. And then he looks at me and he goes, we've been here about 15 minutes.
Yeah.
You just downed 4 drinks. He goes, I'm still sipping my first one. I'm like, and? And isn't that the point?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a little moment of recognition. But something else that you said, it fascinates me how siblings, how one could get it and the other ones don't get it. And then we want to look at, people's childhoods.
Right.
And we want to look at, like, their upbringing.
Yeah.
And was the parents' fault? Was, what happened? I was in prison one time, and I was in reception at Wasco. And I'm in my cell, and I think I got a 5-year sentence. I'm in my cell, and I have a cellie that he's got a 5-year sentence, right? And we're both busted for drugs, and we were both 30-something years old. And he talked about his childhood. And his childhood was his mom was a prostitute. His father was absent. He had lots of stepfathers, and he lived in motels and around drugs forever, right? And that was his childhood, his upbringing, and he was a motel room kid. And then I think about my childhood, and my mom, she was an attorney and became a judge, My father was a police officer and then a private investigator. We were well-to-do, had everything. And here we both are, me and this other man, with the same exact situation at this time. And he had a horrible childhood, and I had a decent childhood. But here we both are exactly like the same men in the same exact situation. So I don't know what it takes. I don't know if it has to do with your upbringing. I don't know what it has to do with. I think it's an internal thing about, like, how we're growing up and seeing life. And that we wind up falling into this addiction trap.
I mean,
that's what it is.
The thing is that when I was young, I always felt different, and I was never comfortable in my own skin. Like, that is, and I come from, my dad's a doctor, my mom's a nurse.
Yeah.
They are still married. I lived in the house on the hill. I have 3 sisters and a brother. I'm the only addict. So I think for me, it wasn't environmental. For me, it maybe some things pushed me that direction because I did have some trauma and molest and stuff like that happened to me. But for the most part, like, before any of that happened, I felt uncomfortable.
Yeah. You know, a lot of us, I was actually having a conversation with someone this morning, and he had told me, he goes, I just need to figure out, like, why. Like, why my life's like this? Why? And I go, pardon the French, but fuck why.
Yeah.
I'm like, why? Okay, so you had a horrible childhood. Okay, you had traumas. You had a horrible childhood. You got bullied at school.
Yeah.
You got, all this stuff. Well, we figured out why.
Now what?
Now what?
Totally. I'm with you.
Now what? Why? I have this analogy. It's like this. We are all perfect just the way we are. Okay, that sounds weird because a lot of us go, what are you talking about? I'm not perfect. I'm not perfect. I'm too short. I'm way too old, all this stuff. But actually what we're getting that confused with perfection. Okay, perfection, there's no perfection. We're all fallible. We all have issues, okay? But perfect is this. So you have this mechanic, and this is a master mechanic, and what he wants is a 57 Chevy. And he's looking everywhere. He's been looking for 2 years for a 57 Chevy, and he can't find it. And then one day his wife goes, hey, you know what this farmer called? And he has a 57 Chevy. So this guy's, really? So they drive to the farmer's house. They get there. They knock on the door. The farmer answers. The guy goes, oh, hey, you got a 57 Chevy? And he's like, yep, out behind the barn. And they go out behind the barn, and there's this 57 Chevy. And the tires are rotten, the windshield is busted, the door is screwed up, everything, the paint's peeling, it's got rust, the headlights are busted out, and the wife is going, no, hell no. But he looks at that and he goes, perfect.
I'll take it.
Perfect. He accepts the project. He accepts it, and he knows what his abilities are, and he's going to turn that thing great. Where other people or our own individual lives, I find that we look at the beat up 57 Chevy or ourselves and walk around and going, look at the windshields are busted. That's not right. The headlights out. What do you, the paint, the tires, no. And we just complain about the project as opposed to who cares why the mechanic doesn't care why that 57 Chevy is sitting there in the back of the barn. He doesn't care why it got there. He doesn't care why the windshield's broken. He doesn't care why the paint's bad.
It's time to fix it.
He cares about working on the project.
Yep.
So why doesn't do shit? And we spend our whole times trying to figure out why we act this way. What does something is actually the work. And
that's why. Is because they want to use it as an excuse not to do the actual work
Yeah.
required to put in for that 57 Chevy to look like a beauty once you're done with it, because it's going to take some
work.
Yeah.
We're a perfect project. We accept the project. We accept who we are, and we're going to work on that until the end of our days.
You know what? Let's forget about the project. It's even a frame of mind when you look at it, because that's where, he had a button with me, because my brother is always thankful for who he was or what he's gotten.
Yeah.
He's always thanked God. He's always grateful.
Yes.
And that's what I was always missing.
Gratitude.
Gratitude. And just okay
Gratitude.
just okay with that project. Like, grateful for what's in front of me.
Yes.
Yeah, man.
Gratitude is the secret to life. I have this, I have a lot of these things, okay? So gratitude, has anyone ever given you a gift, or you've ever given somebody a gift, and then that person responds with, oh my God, really? This is for me? You were thinking of me? And it's not even my birthday. This is so amazing. Like, thank you so much. I love it.
Yeah.
How does that make you feel?
Amazing. And that's literally what happens every time I bring my 15-year-old daughter home a Starbucks.
Yes.
I'm not fucking kidding you, dude. She's like, just like that.
Just like
she's
that.
She's like,
you were thinking of me?
She gets so excited. And that is actually why.
You do it.
How does that make you feel? It makes you feel, I want to do a Starbucks every day.
Yeah.
But you ever give somebody a gift, and then you're like, I'm thinking of you, and you give them the gift, they're like,
yes.
I like Arizona iced tea.
Yeah.
Why'd you give me a water?
Yep.
Like, like, hey, you want a water?
Oh God, I've done.
Like, hey, you want a water? I mean, how does that make you feel?
Fuck you, I'm not doing anything nice for you.
Like, I am never gonna buy you shit ever again. Like, never again.
You ungrateful.
fucking-
You know what I mean? You
motherfucker.
ungrateful. So
How
that is
fucking great is this guy? And he is one of the most animated people I've ever met in my fucking life.
nice.
Right?
It's nice.
Let
Like-
me get to the point of this.
Yeah.
There's a big point here.
Yeah.
That's the same thing with our lives.
Yeah.
That's the same thing with our lives. If we're grateful for the life that we have so much more coming. If we're ungrateful for the life that we have, we got nothing coming.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing coming. Gratitude means that I'm grateful for what I have, and then more abundance is going to be brought this way because we're grateful. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
And then on top of that,
Attitude.
and then you the abundance that comes,
Yeah.
you keep giving it away and you keep giving it away. Didn't you say me and you had the same fucking conversation?
The secret to life is
Yeah.
giving.
Yeah, it is.
Giving. I mean, we've been hearing that. I mean, we had it backwards. I had it so backwards.
We were taking.
Taking every day, I'd wake up every day in my past, I'd wake up and I'm like, oh, here's the table of life. I need this, and I need to take this, and I need this, and I'm just
And
taking.
that's mine too.
No, it's fun, but guess what? It's like this is not adding value.
No.
This is
None.
taking.
Yep.
And it's
But
not
the
filling
secret-
it's not filling the cup. The cup is when you're giving
No,
it back.
it's when you're giving.
Yes.
When I wake up every day
Yeah.
and I'm like, ooh, how can I add value to this table of life? What do I have to add to help and make this a bit better looking picture? When you're taking, the universe says you're a taker. And it takes everything from us. Our happiness, our joy, our peace,
Yes.
our serenity. Because we're taking and because we're in fear. And that fear is need. I need. No, its secret is to give. I have enough. And people, the thing is too, is like, we always talk about service, right? Service. The one expressions, if service was convenient, it wouldn't be service.
Right.
But service, a lot of people out there, they think, oh, I don't really have nothing to give. I don't have anything to help. I don't how am I going to, I'm working and all this stuff. But what people fail to understand is there's so many people out there struggling right now. Okay? There's so many people out there that are hurting. And even if you don't think you have something to give, you really do. 5 minutes of your time spent with somebody that's ready to end it.
Yeah.
Because in that moment when someone's ready to end it, they're in rehabs or they're at places, they think that nobody gives a shit. They think that no one cares and the world is better off without them. That's what they think. And when you sit down with a person for 5 minutes, hey, how's it going? I've seen you hanging out here. You look like you're going through a difficult time. I don't know you, but I care. That can literally mean the difference between life and death for an individual. It's super. People have time. They have energy. They have we get so locked in ourselves because everyone's so afraid of being hurt. But the secret to life we were just talking about is love, man. The more love that you give, and I'm not talking about always the relationship kind of love, because love is really the answer. Love is the answer. Love is the answer to everything. And I'm not talking about the relationship like, I love you, got this warm feeling. I'm talking about the love that's like, look at that sunrise.
Yeah.
I love it. You go into Starbucks. I'll have a pumpkin spice latte. And then you... I love it. Someone's wearing something nice. I love that outfit on you.
Yeah.
Love. As opposed to fear. Love is the answer to everything.
And it's the absence of fear.
It's the absence of fear. There's 50 reasons why life sucks. There's 50 reasons why life sucks. I could write them down on the wall, and it's like, yep, and they're undeniable. They are undeniable, and you can't argue with them. There's 50 reasons why it totally is just a big pile of crap. There's also 50 reasons why life is beautiful and amazing and brilliant and awesome. The buzzard and the hummingbird both fly over the same field every day, and they both find exactly what they're looking for. The hummingbird finds flowers. The buzzard finds carcasses. What are we looking at?
Totally.
What are we looking at? Are we looking at the negatives?
That's totally.
Are we looking at the positives?
Yep.
It's our choice. But when we have shame and guilt and fear and insecurities and trauma and pain and all this stuff inside of us from being hurt in life, we can't see no flowers. We can't see nothing. That's why the process of change, recovery, I like to think that recovery, we're recovering something. You know what we're recovering? Our spirit.
Yeah.
We're recovering our spirit of joy, of love, of happiness, of fellowship. That's what we're recovering. You know, we're not just, we're not terminally broken. People are powerful. You know, we're human beings. We're extraordinary. We're masterpieces. You know, we really are. We could do so much. I know that was a little long rant.
No, I love it. No, but it's so true because it is. It's your perspective. It's like when you walk into a room, do you want to be giving or do you want to be an energy suck? Because you know, like sometimes there's people that you encounter and all it is like complaining about this, complaining about that, complaining. You know, where somebody else can look at that individual that's complaining about X, Y, and Z. And would die for their life.
Oh my! Okay.
Die for it.
This is humongous. I talk to these centers, and I go to a place, and I talk, and I go, "You guys sitting in detox right now, you have no idea what people would do to be you. You have no idea. Like, oh, you don't have a home, you're kicking fentanyl, you're freaking like, you know, you don't know where you're gonna go, you have no money.
Yeah.
Okay, I go. People would literally chop their left arm off to be you. You don't understand. They're like, huh? And I've used that thing, but I'd go back into the prisons one time, right? So I'd go back into a Chino prison on the East Yard, a place that I lived and was very crazy in. And now I'm going back in the gates.
Yeah.
I mean, on the yard. And I'm like, I was in that building. Oh, we got that guy. You know, I mean, just craziness.
Yeah.
But I'm going in with a complete different perception. And I go in there and I carry this message to these guys. And they're like, I got to stand an ovation. They're like super stoked. I'm like, yeah, we could change. And then I tell this one guy afterwards, he's doing a double life. You know, he's never getting out of prison. And I told him, I go, you know, I use this analogy that people would do anything to be where they're sitting. And I go, if I told you right now, you can walk out that gate with me right now and walk out and be a free man. But the only requirement would be I need to take your left arm. You know what the guy responded to me with? You want a foot too?
Yeah.
We don't recognize how blessed we really are. We are blessed beyond belief. And the only reason, did you know that life is amazing and beautiful and wonderful and full of opportunity and growth for everybody?
Yeah.
But the problem is you can't see it. Most people can't see it because of why? Because we've been hurt. And the hurt is sitting inside of us. And it's compelling us to do something about the hurt. And then when we experience drugs and alcohol and all these substances, we find out the hurt doesn't feel so bad with that stuff.
Sure.
And then it's a two-edged sword. You know, it starts destroying because we're not able to get to our core issues. We're not able to get to the real inner work because we're putting Band-Aids on it. We're putting substances on it. But then you take all that away. I like this, you know, that song by Kurt Cobain, you know, it's a Nirvana. Come as you are.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Come as you are. As you are. Come to program. Come to rehab. Come to
that's
therapy.
how church is technically how it was supposed to be as well. Come as you are.
As you are, as broken, as messed up,
Yes.
as screwed up, as lost, as confused. Come as you are. You come as you are. You present yourself to life, to help, to people as you are. But we're not able to, and you can never get to the root of your issues if I did a little heroin right now, I would not be coming here as I am.
No,
I'd be a new
you would not.
animal.
No, you would not.
You know what I mean? No, I'd be a new animal. If I came here under some substance or something, I'm not coming as I am.
Totally.
I can't get to the root of my issues as long as I'm doing something.
Yeah, but I'm working all day. I'm working 8 till 6 o'clock at night. I'm driving 2 hours to get home. I have 3 kids. I have no time to pass on the love anymore. I'm tired.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's the majority of people out there.
That's not true. I feel like that's a cop-out. You know why? There's 24 hours in a day.
Yes.
And you ask, what are you doing with your time? How much time are you on Instagram? How much time are you scrolling? How much time are you sleeping?
You can actually,
literally
I
prioritize-
You make time.
Well, here's the other part about it. I am that guy. So let's say I'm that guy, right? Well, how many hours am I driving to and from
2
work?
hours. Say 2 hours.
2 hours each way.
Yeah, 2 hours each way.
That's 4 hours.
Yeah.
That I could actually be doing work, filling my mind
Yes.
with positive stuff,
You can
talking to friends
Yes.
who are
Yes.
bettering their lives.
Yes.
4 hours
Of me time.
of me
True.
time.
Yes.
True. People could look at it like that. You're right.
It's,
No, they should.
They
It's a
should.
perspective.
They should.
Let's because anything anybody says, right? It's just an analogy that you just said. Those people are the buzzard, and they're looking for carcasses in their life.
And they find them.
And they
that guy
find 'em.
cut me off. That guy did this. That guy did that.
Don't fucking drive with this motherfucker right here. I'm sorry, Shane.
You know what I mean? Are you looking for carcasses? I mean, and it's a self-fulfilling prophecy.
I mean, it's everything's an excuse,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
And I think that's the point that Shane was trying to
Yeah,
make. He wasn't
exactly.
saying that. He wasn't. He was trying to be the flip side
Yeah.
of
Yeah,
the
yeah,
coin.
yeah,
like
yeah,
yeah.
I've
That
got to.
can-
Well, you know
Yeah.
what we say to those people? Get up and change that. Make the change. Only you can make that change for yourself.
Well, it's
Boom.
also managing, like, when your schedule is so hectic and chaotic, which obviously everybody's lives are very different, and whether it's children, whether it's career, whether it's school, but when you have 24 hours in a day and you're that slammed, then you need to go through all those 24 hours and literally schedule what you need for yourself to be the best version of yourself to fill into all those avenues, or
Yeah.
else you will be miserable.
Miserable.
I know for my
And then you can't spill into other cups.
No, you can't. I know. I mean, do you want to be rich or do you want to be happy? You know, and something else is like on my list of things. I've had to make these sacrifices for my own personal journey. I've had to sacrifice birthdays, family get-togethers. I've had to sacrifice certain things for my recovery. Nothing comes in front of my recovery. It cannot. And that's a sacrifice I'm willing to make, because I see a lot of my new guys that come in and they're like, I got to be with my family. I got to be with my family. I got to be with my kid. I got to get my kid back. I got to do this. And I got to spend as much time with them as I possibly can to repair this damage that I've done. And I'm like, no, what you need to do is work on yourself, understand, finally what compelled you, and then also being able to take moves to make that not happen again. So I know personal development, I know working on ourselves, it's an inside job that we have to make the time.
Yes.
We have to make the time, because everything's an inside job. It's the inner realm that dictates how we see everything.
Yeah.
And if we're not working on that and ignoring it,
No,
Yeah.
that's
not
the
healthy.
thing.
And the thing is, exactly, because here's the thing: if you're not doing that, if I stop doing that and I start spending more quantity of time
Yeah.
with my loved ones, with my wife,
It'll
with my
take
children,
away the quality.
it will take away the quality of time. And here's the thing: it might even send me back into relapse.
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
Which in turn is going to do more damage than me working on myself. and
Missing a day here or
missing
there.
a day here or there.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, my one commitment with like my kids is that I show up to 90% of their events, whether
Activities.
it's their school events, their activities, those things I show up for because I can today.
Yes.
But
Right.
my first year in recovery, I couldn't.
Yeah.
I was, and we just talked about where I was outside of this room. I was at Nancy Clark's. And you know what? Every Sunday, Nancy Clark has a mandatory
Mando.
4 p.m. curfew, and then we all do a potluck. And that is our deal every Sunday night. And
Yeah.
and you know what? I had to miss a Thanksgiving. I had to miss a Christmas
Yes.
because they fell on Sunday while I was there. And guess what? I couldn't drive up to LA and, and these things. But you know what? I was working on myself. And
So
since
that you
then,
could be this guy
so I could be this guy.
and give that quality.
And now I get to fly with my son to Baylor University on June 25th.
Baylor.
Damn.
no,
for-
that's
for
like
Family
incredible.
Day.
Yeah.
But I love that because I hear it too with some of the girls or even like sitting in groups here and stuff and yes, a lot of times, we come in and we're broken and we're disheveled and we've done a lot of damage in our past. However, if you did not take that time to miss those occasional Sundays with your family, this, that, or the other, what ends up happening is all of a sudden, does that family want to not have their dad for that year?
Yeah.
Or do they want it for the rest of their life?
Most people.
The best version of that individual.
It's a sacrifice you have to make.
You know?
It's a sacrifice. Everything's about sacrifices. You have to sacrifice one thing to get,
'Cause
and to
what's
get other
better,
things.
Him missing and then going back into jail or going back into the system or running and gunning because that's what will happen.
Yes.
Because that's what we do. And then all of a sudden, those times that you think like, oh, I'm here at this game or I'm here at this birthday party, all of a sudden it's like, oh no, dad's gone now for another 6 months because he's back in county.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know? And that's what will happen.
And honestly, this conversation that we're having right now is what I want the addicts to hear. The addicts that are early in recovery, that are trying to do this thing, they need to hear this. Work on yourself.
Yes.
Take that time to work on yourself. Your family will still be there.
Yeah. They will still be there and they'll be grateful.
My kids,
that you're-
you can ask any of my children,
Yeah.
my wife, ask any of them. They are fucking grateful that they have this version
Yes.
of
They
Chad
do.
on a daily basis.
And the beginning journey of a lot of people, they don't, that haven't like recovered, or the family of the individual, they don't understand sometimes because they think that family is the most important. Being there with your kids, being there with your moms, they think that that's paramount because to them, a normal person, it is super important. But to us, our addiction trumps everything and everybody, and then it makes us not care about the family from a freaking motel room in LA. I care about them, but I feel like a pile of crap.
Yeah.
Totally.
So recovery has to come first.
Yeah.
I feel like, and that's where I do want to get, because it's very difficult and I understand it to a degree, the person that is the normie in the family, because they don't get, our brains aren't wired right. Like that's why we do what we do, and that's what I've come to, because we always have the conversation of like genetics or environmental, which I think it's a little bit of both depending on how you were raised and things of that nature. But then it just comes down to the fact like our brains are not normal. They are not like my husband, who is a normie, logical as like, if this is causing a destruction in your life, maybe you shouldn't do it.
Yeah, stop it.
Stop doing it.
What is the
my God,
definition of
stop it.
addiction? Is continued use despite
That's insanity.
negative consequences.
Yes.
That's insanity.
Continued use despite negative consequences.
So to a normal person,
That doesn't make sense.
It's like, dude, what is like?
And
I don't.
their
understand.
solution is not our solution. And they go, if I was doing that,
Right.
if I was acting that way, and I ran away and screwed up that bad, I would just stop.
I know, and that's
Well,
where I
that's
feel
a
bad.
great solution for you.
I know, and that's where I feel for them though, to be
Me
with,
too.
with us, because it's very difficult to not have that brain or not have that understanding, because then the family, I feel like they end up turning it inward. Like it's something like, why wouldn't he want to be with his family?
Yeah.
like,
Then something's wrong. Something's wrong with us. Something's wrong with me.
Or like, why doesn't dad or mom want to be here?
Yeah.
I'm the child. I'm the kid. And it's like, I like it. It breaks my heart because it's like, it has nothing to do with that.
No.
Or them.
Nothing.
At all. And it's like, that's where I'm like, damn, going to like Al-Anon or something of that nature, where the more people that I encounter that are normies, but have to kind of walk with the person that's in addiction.
Yeah.
the more that they tune into like our Recover Out Loud Zoom meetings and they get to
Yes.
hear the disease, like my mom, she's a normie, right? But she tunes into our Recover Out Loud meetings.
Yes.
So like even now, like it gives her more, because my parents are my heroes, they're my everything, and I definitely should not have been raised and doing and gone the way that I went to,
Yeah.
based upon them. Like I don't fault them for anything. However, for the individuals to have places like that, like our Zoom, where all are welcome, whether you're an addict, if you're trying to get sober, or if you're just a loved one of a person that's in substance abuse, it's a good spot for them to listen and kind of have like the understanding of the brain of the person, that individual, so they don't take it so
personal. It's hard not to take it. The love of the mother and fathers. I spend more time on the phone with them than I do a lot of times with the individual. Because of what they're going through.
Totally.
And it's the guilt that they're feeling. I'm like, it's not your fault. It's not your fault. The deal is getting gets us so deep. I'm like, he can't see you.
Yeah.
He can't see you. Like I could sit there and see my mom crying, getting at me at 3 a.m. when she's looking in my car, and I'm like, I look like I'm dead because I'm passed out, and I could see her crying. I could see her fear, but I can't feel it. I can't feel what she's going through, and that will just, because it's all about me and my life.
Totally.
Something I really try to explain to normies and to mothers and fathers and, brothers and sisters. And as I'm like, okay, so this is the best way that I could put it. I go, you remember the last time? Because they think that the addict or the alcoholic or whoever's afflicted thinks that they're just full of crap.
Sure.
Just like, you know what? They're so full of crap. They lie all that. They're so full of crap.
Which rightfully so.
Rightfully. We earned it. We totally earned it.
Yeah.
But then I tell them, I go, there's been a few of those times where they told you that they're going to stop and that they're never going to use ever again. And if you put them to the lie detector test, it would have said they're telling the truth. I go, they were telling the truth. They really meant to stop. But the disease is so powerful that 6 hours later, they're locked in the bathroom getting high again. It's not that they lied to you. It's that they didn't have the power to make that commitment.
Yeah.
They didn't have the power to make that commitment. I just changed my mind.
Yeah.
I changed my mind. I didn't know it was a phenomenon of craving. You know what I mean? I didn't know it was a phenomenon of craving.
And a mental obsession.
I didn't know it was that. I just thought I changed my mind.
Yeah.
I went out to my brother's house one time. I was like, going to college. I got out of prison. I'm going to college and everything's great and I'm doing good. And all of a sudden I'm just chipping a little bit. You know what I mean? Just chipping a little drinking a little heroin, here and there.
Yep.
But not bad. You know what I mean? I got this. I got this. And chipping turns into chunking. And so now I'm chunking and I could feel it. My parole officer, I'm barely getting away now. And I'm like, I call my brother and I go, hey, David, I need to come out there. I need to get off this crap. I'm going to go back to prison. I need help. And he goes, okay, come out here, Dan. So I got in the car, drove all the way out to Sylmar. I get to Sylmar. I get to his house, and he was waiting out front. And I got out of my car, and I'm like, I'm done. I'm done. I am done. I'm going to go back to prison. Here's all my money. Here's all my drugs. Here's the keys to the car. Here's everything I'm never going to use ever again. And I've been around the program long enough to, really analyze it. And I'm like,
totally.
This is my bottom.
Right.
This is my total, this is what it feels like. And I'm like, thank you, David.
Yeah.
I'm going to take some baths and I'm going to be cool and I'm going to kick a little bit. And he's like, no problem. And that was at 3:00. And I meant it.
Yeah.
To the core of my being, I meant it. At 9:00.
You were rummaging around looking for the fuck.
Why the hell did I come out here? Yeah. I'm not done. Where did I do my stash? I'm going out of the dumpster looking in the stash. I'm looking for my keys to my car. I just thought I'd change my mind. So that's the insanity of this. Yeah. We don't have the addict early on doesn't have the power to make that kind of decision, though we want to.
Yeah.
And another note to the family on that. They don't have the power either.
No.
Another note to family.
No.
They don't have the power either. But you know where the power comes from? A group of other recovering addicts. We are the truly the only ones that can help that addict in that time and place.
In that time and place. That's why the solution, 100% agree. I tell mothers and fathers, I go, listen, this person's got a sponsor, going to meetings, doing this stuff, and I just want you to know when he stops doing that, then there's a problem.
Totally.
When they stop associating with some kind of help, it doesn't always need to be. I'll never say that the 12 steps is the only way to recover.
agree.
I like to think of it as
It's a good starting.
martial arts.
Yeah.
How many martial arts is there?
That's a good way.
You know what I mean? How many martial arts are there?
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of different martial arts, and and the masters of all of them kick ass.
Yeah.
You know, but it just turns out that the 12-step, the meetings, this 12-step deal is, it's free meetings, free aftercare for life, and it's just out there,
Yeah.
So, I just think that when it's super effective. I'll never say it's the greatest way, but it's super effective. But the solution for an addict of the hopeless variety, the ones that are just lost, their solution is going to have to be a lifelong commitment to personal development with people that have overcome the same darkness as them.
Yep.
100%.
Yeah, I agree.
I agree.
And whatever the baddest martial art is, though, isn't there a baddest one? Like, which one? What's the baddest one right now?
I mean, there's
Jiu-jitsu. I don't know.
Jiu-jitsu?
Yeah, but then there's
Muay
all-
Thai.
Yeah, exactly. There's,
I mean,
there's
Muay Thai.
CBD.
Ninjutsu, Jeet Kune Do.
Yeah. yeah.
They're all pretty
karate.
badass.
Aikido,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
They're all pretty
Boxing,
badass. Yeah, right.
And, but like you said, there's so many forms of it, and that's how I kind of do look at sobriety now.
Yes.
That like everybody works a different program to
Yeah.
their degree. I started and I still continue 12 steps. Because that's like what worked for me. Because I like to do lots of trials and errors and figure it out. And I stopped doing the work, but I was then sober still.
Yeah.
But I stopped doing what I'm supposed to be suggested of, checking in and doing that thing, and wanted to kill myself. So
Yes.
it's like
Yes.
that's why it's imperative. I have to on a day to day. I only have this. It's
The maintenance.
Yeah.
The
It's a daily
maintenance. The
reprieve.
daily maintenance.
Yes.
The maintenance. We got to maintain. It's like we're vehicles. The
Totally.
vehicles. And we have to constantly check the tires, change the carburetor, wipe down the windshield on the daily. If we don't do it on the daily, it wrecks.
starts to chip. Shit starts to chip.
Yeah,
And
and
you
you
might
get
not
you
pick
get these
up-
little
Things.
I don't like to say it. I'm trying to find a different word because like the word I
Use it.
okay, you get these little chinks in your armor.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
We're live, bro. We're live. Pull it together, baby. Pull it together.
Hey, we get it. We get
when
it.
those
Yeah.
when those fucking happen,
Yeah.
like and it's just little ones.
Yes.
The our disease sees them. It's
Yes.
it's on the lookout for these little tiny, just little cracks. Anything,
Yes.
anything that can go in.
Sharpshooters.
And as soon as it gets in there, it starts to fucking lie to you.
Yes.
Like
Yes.
our disease is the liar.
Liar.
And the thing is that
See,
the
it
families need to know, since we're still on that topic, is the fact that our disease lies to us as much and more than we lie to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
It'll tell me, oh, dude, I was fucking 9 years sober,
Yeah.
living the fucking life. In my eyes, I had arrived at the top of the
Yeah.
hill.
You were the promises.
I was the promises.
Yeah.
I was everything.
Yeah. The promised land.
was-
You've arrived.
Oh,
Yes.
like fucking sobriety. It was everything. You would have never told me 2 weeks before I relapsed. You would have never told me that. I would have been like, fuck, no.
No way.
Never doing that again.
This disease, I like to think of cunning, baffling, and powerful, but I like to think of it as this plant, this weed, this thorny entity inside of me, and it's uncomfortable and it's choking the life out of me.
Yeah.
And it's just all in me, and I don't know what to do with my arms. I'm just uncomfortable in a room full of loving people.
Yeah.
Like something's wrong. And then I come into the program. That's why I've done thousands of meetings, done freaking all these rehabs over and over again, but I never did the steps, right?
Oh,
Till this last
yep,
time.
okay.
So what happens is, as I come into the rooms, and I got this weed choking the crap out of me inside of me, and I'm uncomfortable in my own skin, and then they're like, hey, go to some groups, share, participate,
Yeah.
and these magic shears come out. Trim, 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 trim.
crazy,
and then,
right?
boop, I get a little sunlight, and I start to feel a little bit better. And then I do some more of this stuff. I do a couple little steps. I call my sponsor. I'm
Yep.
accountable. I share.
Totally.
Little shears come out, and then boop, and I feel good. And then I get to this point, then all of a sudden someone will say, hey, Danny, You want to smoke a joint? And I analyze myself. No, I don't want to smoke a joint. I'm good. I'm doing this sober thing.
Yeah.
And then like, do you want to do a little heroin? No, I don't. I'm sober. I'm like in this way I'm feeling right now. They're like, you want to go to the bar? Do you want to do this? You want to smoke some speed? No, I don't. I feel pretty. You know what? I feel pretty good. And then someone will say, do you want to go to that meeting tonight? No, I feel pretty good.
Yeah.
I feel pretty good.
Totally.
I don't need to go to the meeting. You want to call your sponsor? Nope, I'll take it from here, spons.
Yeah.
You know, like I feel good now. But the thing that made me good is the program, working the program. I felt better because I was surrendering, working a program, working with others. And it was trimming away the disease of selfishness.
Totally.
And then I stopped doing it.
Yep.
Yeah.
And guess what? The thing grows back and it starts choking the life out of me, and I need to seek relief. The gym, relationships, money. And that's what I'm thinking. It's, I need a better job. I need money. I need this. That's what I'm thinking. But the disease knows we're going to say it's money right now. We're going to say it's, women, it's money, it's, all these things. We're going to say it's that, but we know what's really going to happen. Mm-hmm. You're going to get loaded.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Cunning, baffling, and powerful.
Yeah, that's exactly it. So I recall saying, God, I got this from here. God, we may have gotten us here, but I'm doing pretty good. But that's when the disease crept in, and it lied to me. It told me, Chad, it's going to be different this time. Remember last time when you were out, you were broke. You were homeless.
Yeah.
You didn't have a car. You didn't have a bank account. You'd never had a credit card.
Yeah.
You didn't have anything. This time, Chad, you have all that.
Yeah.
And you can use just on the weekends.
Yeah.
Never have I ever
Yes.
been able to
Yeah,
use
totally.
on the weekend.
No.
And it was like, so then
Well, you matured now.
I've matured now.
Yeah.
It had been 9 years since I stuck a needle in my arm.
You've matured. Now
yeah.
you know better.
9 years.
Yeah.
Insanity.
And then it's like you can get loaded one time. And I was like, you're right. So I call up my buddy and I say, hey, I just want to get loaded one time. Can I pick
First
up a
of all,
could,
who says that? Who's an addict and says I'm going to get high one time?
what? Here's the
Never.
It needed it.
Wait
it
till you
needed
guys
shaking
hear
the
this
armor.
part.
What's
though.
crazy is that
Yeah.
when he
I
said
said-
it, I guarantee you he really believed that he was only
I was
gonna
going
get
to get loaded one time,
Yeah.
but I said, hey, can I get a quarter ounce from you?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
normal, right?
Because you're going to do one time and spread it out that one time.
It was one time.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
one
no one's
time
getting
for
one time this week and one time next
Yeah,
week.
no one's
And
gonna
then
get
one
quarter
time
ounce.
tomorrow and one time today and one time at noon and one time at 8.
I love that so much though, because if you think about it, all of us clearly have tried to think like, oh, I got it. I mean, I didn't have I get where he was in the sense of like, dude, running a company,
Yeah.
he's doing the deal.
Yes.
It's happening. Me, I was 23, slapped on 3 years, got a license back.
Yeah.
Started driving a car again, and then I thought that I had this shit, and then I obviously didn't. But what I think is funny, and I got sober because of my oldest brother, but he'll call me sporadically, like out of the blue, and I'll say, "Oh, what's up, bro?" And he'll be like, "I just called to let you know you ain't shit," and then hangs up the phone.
Yeah.
And my sponsors
Beat 'em up.
My sponsees laugh. I tell them the story
Yeah.
because it's just a check in the sense of like, do your shit.
Yeah.
You ain't shit. Like
Yeah.
put all my reliance on God. God is my higher power. God
Yes.
is who I pray to.
Yes.
And it's like, make sure you're checking in with the big dog every day and putting forth that effort, because you know how quickly things can sometimes come. They can quickly go.
Yeah, because we there's no one better or worse than anybody, and no one's better.
Nope.
And we're all children of God, and we all trying to find the same thing. Everyone thinks that I suffered from terminal uniqueness before my past.
Totally.
Terminal uniqueness. I would sit there because I got 15 years in
course.
prison and all this, been on crazy places.
Yeah.
And I would sit there and go,
They don't know me.
yeah.
You don't know what I've been through.
Yeah. You haven't been to the places
Yeah.
I've been. You haven't seen the things I've seen. You haven't done the stuff that I've done.
Yeah.
How are you going to tell me anything? You can't tell me nothing. You know, and for some reason, I thought I was way harder. And by harder, I thought I was way better than all these lames.
Yeah.
You know, it turns out everything that I thought was cool turned out to be super lame.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I thought hate and anger and fighting, it was like super cool.
Right.
You know how lame it is to
Super
fucking be going
lame.
through the Orange County Loop?
Oh my
Can
God.
I tell you guys?
Dude,
that is
trust
like,
me, been
like
there.
yeah,
the
that's
lamest.
not
Terrible.
hard.
And it's terrible.
It's not fun either.
No.
It's actually
It's
embarrassing.
actually one of the worst times of my life.
My
And
too.
usually I am in a meth-induced psychosis
Yeah.
while I'm
Yeah.
going through there. And that shit ain't fun.
No.
Because I think everybody is out to kill me and I'm out to kill them. Like, it's not a
Really?
good fucking time,
No.
dude.
It is not.
Fuck, man.
One, it's freezing, by the way. It's
Yeah.
like freezing. I'll never.
Terminal
Uniqueness. I'm different. How can we all be? You know,
so
here's the
true.
thing. How can we all be
damn
different
true.
when we're all looking for the same thing?
Totally.
Like I ask everyone out there, like, what do you want? What do you want? That's a dumb question because I know what you want. You want the same thing everyone wants. You want happiness, peace, joy, serenity. You want to wake up with purpose and meaning. You want to freaking understand yourself, feel comfortable with yourself.
Dude.
You want to wake up and say, what's today? Thursday? Yes, it's Thursday. We're going to kill it.
Shane, it's not Thursday today. I just wanted to remind
It
you.
was-
baby,
it
was
because
earlier.
it was
Yeah,
Thursday earlier for
Today's not
Shane.
Thursday, yeah.
You know what it is, though, Danny?
But
Everyone,
everyone
has to,
wants the same thing.
But everyone, that's just giving back to people. That's giving back to community. That's giving back to children. That's giving back to people that have less than you or more than you at times. It doesn't matter that my dad and my mom come by that naturally.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? I never did come by that naturally, but as soon as I found that, I felt peace.
Yes.
And that's everybody. Whether you're an addict, whether you're miserable, whether you're not, if you're giving back, you're going to be happy.
You,
It's
you and
about
Danny are a lot alike because there's things in you both that you guys love the fucking person suffering.
Yeah, we
The-
do.
You,
I do.
you- the
Yeah.
both of-
Yeah.
and not to say that I don't. You both have a gift.
Yeah.
When that person is suffering, gets a hold of
Yeah.
one of you two.
We got them.
You got him.
We got 'em.
Yeah.
We got them. We
It's
love them.
important.
Yeah.
Because I feel this gift of serenity.
Yeah.
You know, this gift of serenity that has happened in my life. It also came with this two-edged sword thing called compassion. And the reason I say it's a two-edged sword because, well, for one, compassion I can now share
Your
in your victories
And pain.
and your pain. But I could share, like, when you succeed at something, I get to share when these guys recover and then with their families and their moms and their dad, and they're all crying, and the kids are crying, and everyone's having a good time. Like, I don't know who's happier, me or them.
But that
I get to
comes from-
share
But that is so important.
compassion,
But it came from you doing a lot of internal work because I know for me,
removing the hate and
Yes,
anger
because-
and pain.
and also envy. So like for a
Envy.
long time,
Big
before me
time.
doing any type of work, other people would be doing excelling or doing really good,
And you hated them.
I used to. It
I
would
did.
like bug me.
I
It would,
bugged
like,
happy people, successful people,
Yeah.
bugged the crap out of me.
I used to-
Like I was like, what the hell are you so happy about?
Totally.
You know what I mean? Happy ass weirdo.
how I really started.
What are you
doing-
so happy about?
Yeah, what are you so happy? It
Like,
bugged
it
me
bugged
too.
me
and
so bad, and I was like, oh my god. When I started doing like the steps and like doing all the internal work, I'm like, damn, I am like a really fucking piece of shit. Like I'm a really
that's how we
not a
felt
nice
inside. But then
person.
we changed the word from I envy you to I admire you.
Totally.
I admire
I
you.
love.
I admire it.
I love the grind and I love the hustle and I love that you got the payoff
Yes.
because that means that if I can put forth that effort, if it's something that is like that I'm wanting to attain as well.
Yeah.
Then it's like if I can do like it's possible.
Yes.
And
And we
that's
could
the-
share.
Totally.
It's like welcome to humanity.
Yeah.
You know, like welcome to humanity. I've been on an island by myself my whole life, just tripping on me, my needs, my wants, my fears, my insecurities, my problems. Just me. I cannot see you.
Totally.
I can't. I can see you like I want something from you. I need something, but I
Yeah.
can't see you as a human being. I can't. I'm just so wrapped in myself. Something's wrong inside.
Yeah.
So I'm on my own island. And then it turns out, and all I need is I need. It turns out that the secret to life is like Business 101.
Mm-hmm.
Business 101 says your business must provide something positive to its people.
Yeah.
You mean to its customers. If you're not making a positive impact on your customers, that's a horrible business. We're businesses.
Yeah.
People are businesses. And if you are not adding value to people's lives, You're a bankrupt business. And like, I would like to say I was zero value. No, I was not zero value. I was negative 5,000 value.
Yeah.
I mean, I hurt everyone that loved me. So now to be valuable, it's to be valuable, it's adding value to people's lives. Confident people compliment people.
Oh, for sure.
Confident people want other people to rise and grow because they can share in their successes. Insecure people don't compliment nobody
Ever.
and want you to be
Fail.
small.
Yeah.
Want you to fail and want you to be small because then they could feel superior or they talk shit on people or
Yes.
put people down. That was my whole life before. And then this shift, psychic change, spiritual awakening, paradigm shift, whatever you want to call it, new way of life to see it. You know, we could see these things, you know, and it's possible for everybody.
For sure.
Happiness is possible. Let's just make it clear to everyone watching and listening that this is not every day. There are sad days.
There are.
Well, I think also
there
too,
are
I
down
hate- I hate
times.
the
There
word-
are.
I don't
There
like
are.
the word happiness. Happy is fleeting.
Fleeting.
It's an
Okay,
emotion.
so there's
It's
down
peace.
days, there's
It's
bad
peace.
days, there's miserable times, and we have to fight through that through God and through other people and leaning on other people and helping other
Yes.
people.
Yes.
And it's creating those tools, though. It's creating the tools that you know what you need to do, so that way on the good or on the bad days, you know that this too shall pass. You know.
What am I looking?
No, just move just a smidgen over there.
Right.
To my right?
Yeah. There you go.
My right.
Right there.
There, that's perfect. You were taking up two cameras.
Oh, okay.
That's okay. We
Got
won't hold it
All
against
right,
you.
We're,
Not that I didn't mind
you
you
go.
close to me.
I'm new here.
No, you're not.
But you're right, because life happens and things, whether it's like, you know, death comes in people's lives.
Yeah, we
People
got to face this.
People lose jobs. But what it is more along the lines of sometimes, I can't remember if it was my brother who said it or if I heard it in a room. And there's going to be days where like I root for midnight. Like
Yeah.
it's just not a good day.
right.
Like I'm in a funk or something's not going right or you get bad news. But that's also something where it takes like emotional maturity as well and that's called like the work that you consistently doing, like the armor.
We
like
got to
you
be
was
ready.
saying. You got to be.
Well,
you're building your armor.
You're building
Yes.
your readiness.
And the thing
for the
is,
pain.
is one
Yes.
of the
And
things.
then you can spill into your
Bingo.
children.
The
and your
pain,
wife.
it's the difficult moments in life that we grow the most.
Fuck yes.
So now I see some of my greatest prayers are going through difficult times,
Totally.
and thank you for this because through adversity we grow stronger.
100%.
Don't wish life was easier. Wish you were stronger.
Yes,
the
I love
only
that.
way to be.
I love that one. That saying. It's one of my favorites.
Yeah, the only way to get stronger is through adversity and challenges.
It's so true,
So when
though.
we're sad or we're confused or we're upset, accept it. Accept it, and then welcome the challenge. Bring it.
Well, I like Chad always said,
You know?
and it's so true because looking back at like anything that I ever thought was, I'm like, why me? Or like,
Yeah.
this is like the worst time of my life. I'm never going to get through this. And he mentioned this more frequently lately, or maybe it's just like sticking in my head more because I think it's beautiful because it has happened in my life. If I look back, at those like
Yeah.
really shitty
Yeah.
times where I thought like, this is it, or sitting in a jail cell, like, what am I doing in my life? Like, how am I ever going to get out of here? And then what, where it's like, yeah, this is at the very beginning. How do you say it? It's like right at the, a little, if you push
Turning
through
point.
a little further, something huge.
Gratitude is
like
always on the other
Well,
side.
the one thing I always talk about, and I still the exact. I know what she's saying now. The one thing that I always say, I stole it from AA. They said don't leave 5 minutes before the miracle happens.
Yeah.
Well, the toughest of times, like when things are really, really tough,
Mm-hmm.
like nowadays, because I've had so much experience in
Built the
life
armor.
in
Yeah.
these things,
Yeah.
that I'm like, it's tough right now, and that's is good because you know what comes after those tough times?
Gratitude.
Gratitude
Thankfulness.
and greatness.
Yes.
Yes.
Greatness comes
Every time. It's the difficult times
when
we
it's
grow.
the most difficult. It's like this is it, man. This is some good shit, and I'm about to level up.
Yeah.
You
I'm not
know?
going to tell God. I'm not going to tell God, higher power, or whatever you want
Yeah.
to call it. I'm not going to tell him like, hey, check this out. You know what? Right now in my life, you're not doing good enough. I'm not going to do that.
No.
I'm not going to do that. I've been given this gift. Everything's happening. This is my mantra in life. Everything is happening exactly how it's supposed to happen for the benefit of my life. I haven't been perfect in my recovery. I've had challenges and fears and insecurities and problems and frustrations and failed at some things and all kinds of stuff. But you know what? Bring it.
Yeah.
Bring it. I'm not going to complain and bitch about it.
Yeah.
I'm not. Bring it, because I will get through the other side, because I'm no longer alone.
The one thing that I will say that is very, very tough, and it's happening 300 times every single day, is the loss of a child. Those are times when, many people may question God, like, why would you do this to me? And this is the reason why we exist. And we're right there, right on topic. And I don't know the answer to that in any way, shape, or form. And I don't know what it feels like to lose a child. I know what it feels like to lose somebody very, very close to me. I know what it feels like to lose a son-in-law, and I know what it looks like when I look into my daughter's eyes.
The pain.
I hold on to we gotta hold on, just the fact that, like, this is life and it happens, and it doesn't just happen to you. It happens to a lot of people, and I don't know. I don't know. I've lost my sister to this thing, and it's extremely difficult.
Yeah.
But I'm going to do my best to honor her life.
Yeah.
And
You know what I mean?
that's
And
the
to help
hope
other
that I
people.
hope that we
That's
can
all I can do.
people is, to turn that pain into purpose,
It has to.
Yes, it has to. And out of that, you can find some greatness. There is greatness that can come,
Yes.
And is it going to be easy? Fuck
No.
no. It's not, but it creates some of the toughest individuals in the world.
Yeah.
We've got moms showing up on our socials. I mean, you should see them. There are hundreds of moms that are fighting this thing tooth and nail.
Yes.
Fighting this disease. It goes much deeper than fentanyl. Fentanyl's on the front burner because it's killing people like crazy. Right. And never in my life would I say this words except for right now in this time in life. Can we just put heroin back on the streets, please?
Yeah, I know.
Like, get rid of fucking fentanyl.
Yeah.
And put heroin back on the streets, because number one, it's scarier than fentanyl. Your average everyday consumer of marijuana smoker is not going to go out looking for fucking heroin.
No.
Yeah.
But they will take a pill that's cute
Yeah.
and almost looks harmless.
Yeah. Looks like a Flintstone vitamin.
But it's fucking
and it will kill you.
Deadly.
It will kill you.
And they don't know that they're getting that.
No.
I think that's a really big one, especially for the youth, is like there's your people that are actually actively seeking fentanyl, and then there's other ones that are just recreational, not drug addicts, not alcoholics, that are
Accidental
just,
overdose, accidental and just
We call it poisoning over
it's,
here.
It's crazy. So I think that what we super important is that we in recovery we get people through the thing and get them to understand that they're not broken forever, the individual, that there is a process of change that has been effective in millions of people's lives, but it's a process. And a lot of times people don't understand it's a process. It's a process of change that you have to go through, coming out of the darkness and into the light. And people that don't have this addiction problem, they just think, they stopped using, they're in my house, they stopped using, they have their job now, they got their girlfriend, and they just stopped using or they stopped drinking, and that 98% of the time isn't enough when we have crossed over into the hard drugs, into this stuff. So educating people about recovery, that the process to stay in here so that we don't have to, so they don't have to suffer. Because I love people in a way that I never have before, and my heart goes out to people in a way that I never have before, and I don't want anyone to go through the pain and the darkness and the suffering that we've been through. So that's why we fight this fight, and we keep freaking carrying this message of hope. It's super important.
Yeah.
Paramount.
But, I mean, I really think, I'm grateful I never got to meet Justin, and I'm grateful that through a tragedy and by Chad and his family honoring Justin, by starting something like the Hopeaholics
Yeah.
brought me through the door. And then what made me really like fall in love with everything is because it is so important to me to recover out loud, because for so long I lived in silence because I was
Yeah.
ashamed, embarrassed, all of the things.
Yeah.
When it's like now more than ever, especially how this podcast got started was through a poisoning of fentanyl, because it's obviously, you know, coming into the United States on a insane amount,
Yeah.
poisoning the youth more than what I think is even getting reported. But then on top of that, then you have the others that are out there suffering in silence that are alcoholics and addicts because they feel alone.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is something where there is no shame in getting help.
None.
There's no shame in seeking treatment.
No.
In seeking, doing the things that you need to do to find what everyone is searching for. And ultimately what that is being okay with yourself and having the self-confidence and where you're okay, because I'm stuck with Natalie Eva Marie 24 fucking 7. That
And
bitch
we're
will
stuck
not
with her
leave.
for like 8 to 9, 10 hours a day.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
we know just in those 8 to 9 hours that we spend with her
Yeah.
Monday through Friday, that it's got to be rough up there. I'm just playing. That was a good. I had to.
Yeah, you're
man.
only seen a part of it. You're not seeing it.
I had to.
Seriously?
But I also wanted to piggyback off of what she
yeah.
said really quick, because
Yeah.
like the recovering out loud, the recover out loud is a movement,
Yeah.
right? It's a movement, and I wanna also let people know that we do not violate any traditions of a 12-step program by recovering out loud.
No.
Because if you actually understand the traditions of the 12-step program, it doesn't have anything to do with me personally talking about my recovery. Now, do I sit here on this microphone and tell you that I'm a member of a specific group? I do not.
Yeah.
No.
I do not say that. That would actually be you technically violate the
Yeah.
tradition with that.
A breach.
Yeah, it's a minor breach.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: it's like that's okay too. You can call your sponsor.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
man, sometimes people get so pissed at us on our fucking socials. They're like, "You're violating." We are not. We are not violating the traditions of the 12-step program.
Yeah.
Especially because we were talking about our own personal recovery, right?
Yep.
So it's not like, now I understand.
I'm not talking about another person's recovery. We're
Exactly.
not violating their anonymity.
Yes.
If someone wants to remain anonymous and all that, great.
Yeah,
Yes.
You know,
for sure. Go ahead.
I needed people to come and tell me what was happening in their life and their situation. You know, they didn't even know me, and they were recovering out loud, letting me know what was happening. And if I didn't hear them or they didn't have that voice, I wouldn't be here.
Yeah,
I agree.
I wouldn't
either.
be here.
People,
You know?
addicts need to know that when they're like we are fucking. I'm a dope fiend. I'm just gonna speak for myself. Like I'm
Yeah.
a dope fiend.
Yeah.
I put needles in my arm and I use
Yeah.
and I use. I used to live and I live to use. And you know what? You can actually get fucking clean and sober, and you can live a life beyond your wildest dream, and you can be happy, and you can have a sense of peace. You know, and sometimes you feel horrible and sometimes you feel amazing, and that's the best fucking part. And you learn to be comfortable with
In your own
both.
skin.
You're feeling.
Yeah,
You're feeling.
it's great to feel.
Yeah, you're feeling.
It's
You-
great.
You have to learn how to feel, and like feelings. And a lot of people say bad and good, right? But a feeling is actually just a feeling. There is no negative or positive connotation. We're the ones that put that on it.
Yeah.
The part that people
It's like water. We're the ones that make it hot and cold.
we make it
Yeah.
hot and cold.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I get it.
And a feeling is just uncomfortable. Sometimes it's uncomfortable to feel sad if you've never learned how to feel sad.
Yeah.
I can get up on this microphone right now. I can talk about Justin. I can get sad. I can cry.
Yeah.
And that is okay.
100%.
I can get up on this microphone and tell you that I'm depressed, or I can get up here and tell you that I'm happy today.
Yeah.
Today I'm doing pretty well. You know, I was excited for this podcast. I was in Arizona this morning, and I jumped on a plane at 7:30 a.m. Got here, drop the wife off at home.
Yeah, I got in late, but that's fine.
Yeah.
I got here at 10.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
You know, and fucking life is good, and we get to all recover out loud together, man. And
Recover out loud. There's no shame in it.
No.
You know, actually people love it. They love the underdog story. They love recovery.
Totally.
And I'll share it with as many freaking people as I possibly can. You know, and I like, you know, I know I talk about breaking the traditions and all this stuff, and I don't say any organization, but there is a one part that I heard, and it says in there, we realize we know only a little.
yeah,
More will be revealed.
more will be revealed.
More will be revealed.
More is getting
You know,
revealed.
change is happening.
Change
Change
is
is
happening.
happening. You know, originally when one of those things was you know, I don't want to go down the rabbit hole. I will, but there's no shame in it, and I want as many people to hear it as possible. I'm cool. I'm not going to say an organization, but I want as many people to hear it, and it's not just for. I mean, I spend a lot of time on the phone with not just the individual. The mothers and fathers and grandparents and brothers and sisters and nephews and all of them, and they don't know the solution and they haven't heard it. You know, they don't know. And so, yes, recover out loud. Let people know that there's a way so that that other people know that there's something for their loved one that's going through this thing.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times when we're going through it, we don't think anyone cares or we don't have any solution. We don't know there's a solution.
Right.
So it's important to let people know that there is a solution. And I just, you know, we realize we know only a little. But I know one thing is that going through this process, I learned to finally love myself,
Yeah.
the life I have, and the world that I live in. Like, I love it. You know, yesterday I was I'm working on this little book, you know, and I'm at Starbucks, and I'm talking about loving the world I live in. And I'm like, you know, there's a big world out there, but the world I live in right now is Starbucks. And I high-fived the barista for my coffee, and then there was a homeless guy in there. She said his name was Richard, and I'm like, hey, Richard. So we started talking. I gave him a couple bucks. And that was my world that I live in. Everyone lives in their own world.
Yeah.
Everybody does. So we got to learn to love the world that we live in that's ours, you know, because everyone sees life a little bit different. And the more love.
And there's
the more-
acceptance.
and there's acceptance.
There's acceptance.
There's acceptance.
Yeah, when you love the world you live in, you accept
Yes.
the world that other people live in.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean,
Love is the answer. Love is the answer to
There is
everything.
this cool thing
You
on
know?
this on the page of this
It
book.
is.
I'm not going to say the page or the book, but it says that it's so fun. It's so fun doing
If
stupid.
you know- if you
it's
know,
so
you
fun-
know.
It's so fun doing stupid shit like that. You know what I mean? But there's this cool saying: acceptance is the key to all of my problems today.
Yes.
Acceptance is the key to all of my problems today. And my sponsor, he said to me, he said, Chad, acceptance doesn't mean you have to like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just accept that's where it is
Yes.
at this moment in time. And,
Yes.
And be okay that that's what it is.
My sponsor told me about it one time. Early on into my deal, this guy was talking a bunch of crap to me, and I wanted to punch his face in. You know, I was like, what? I only had a couple months sober, so I'm like, and I didn't do anything. I just let this guy talk a bunch of crap to me, and I'm like, "Bleh."
Yeah.
So I call my sponsor, and I go, I need to see you. So I get over to his house, I ride my bicycle over there, and I get there, and I'm like, get off my bicycle, throw it down, I go, oh, so what? I just got to be a little weenie now because of my sobriety? I got to let the people can just disrespect me all the time, and I just got to just accept it. You mean just let people walk all over me? And he looked at me and he goes, that is not acceptance. That's like anger, defiance, you know, insecurities. He goes, there's no acceptance in that. I'm like,
Totally.
he goes, acceptance is allowing people to be dumb, allowing people to be idiotic, allowing people. There's this term, I'm sorry to break my French out, but there's this term that I aspire to that has so much meaning to my life. That word is called unfuckwithable.
Oh yeah, I love that.
The definition is when you're truly at peace and in touch with yourself, that nothing anybody says or does bothers you, and no negativity or drama can touch you because you're unfuckwithable.
Dude,
That's actually.
I'm stealing.
Does
not
anybody
perfect
have
at it.
that fucking on a shirt yet? Because
I
like,
really-
damn, dude,
That's
that's a shirt.
Shirt.
How that's a hard word to say too, though. Unfuckwithable
Yeah, don't people get it
Unfuckable.
confused and sorry
with unfuckable.
Yeah, they say and they go, dude, I'm trying to be unfuckable.
You already go get loaded and you'll be unfuckable. Ain't nobody want to fuck you when you're loaded. Or I'm just speaking for myself. I just
Yeah,
wanna,
no, it's unfuckable. We gotta be at peace with yourself.
so true.
Like, a little while back, I got my car stolen, and some other things happened, and like, okay, like, I'm not gonna lose my shit, and just this is just stuff that happens in my life. Got my wallet stolen one time, and and the lesson I learned from that is I kept hearing in my head, "This is what it feels like, Danny. This is what it feels like to get your wallet stolen. This is what it feels like to get your car stolen, Danny." Because in my past, I stole
Totally.
wallets and cars and
That is so funny you
everything.
said that 'cause my oldest brother was
Yeah.
this shit would happen to him, and he was like, "Well, guess this is what it feels like."
This is what it feels like
Yeah.
to get my tools stolen.
Yes,
That's what it
yeah,
feels
yeah,
like.
yeah, yeah,
I
Like, okay.
yeah.
Okay, what am I going to do?
people get so upset. See, and that's why the thing
Stuff.
is like I know,
Stuff.
right? I actually feel like I don't get that upset about that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Because I did that kind of stuff.
So, yes.
Like, you know how many times I like drove away in somebody else's car? Like I had no idea who it was.
Yes.
Actually there was times when I did it just for fun. Like because I had nothing else to do at fucking 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, and I just borrowed it, left it at the store, and then left away walking.
Yeah, but I knew how to do it. So like I thought it was fucking kind of cool. Like I could literally take a Volkswagen, any Volkswagen.
Yeah, little shave key.
And I didn't even need the shave key. I just carried around a screwdriver, and I could pop the lock, fucking pop the fucking ignition, and I was gone in like literally
30 seconds.
30 seconds, and it was kind of fun.
Yeah.
Not today. It wouldn't be fun. It
No,
was
because now we know that we're hurting people.
yeah, hurting people.
We're hurting people.
Yes.
Now we know. But back then it was like,
I
didn't
honestly,
have
though,
that.
what's weird
I mean,
is
I
I
didn't have-
didn't know. I didn't realize.
No.
When before I ever was introduced to recovery, I didn't know that there was any other way to live except for the way that I had been living for the last 10 years.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it progressively got worse, but I was progressively getting taught things by the older
Yeah.
group of addicts to be able to continue the cycle of madness and drug use.
That's all I thought that there was.
Yeah, because
like,
it makes
how
sense.
else am I going to get stuff?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to work.
I
I'm gonna
couldn't-
steal
I was
stuff. How else
unemployable.
am I going to do that? I need stuff.
Well, that's why they say the birds of a feather flock together, and that really relates to like if that's all you're around and that's all you're surrounding yourself with, what do you think is going to happen? You're going to get better a little bit at being a criminal and
Yeah.
doing drugs. So then that's why one of the biggest things that is always said, especially if you're running and gunning with a certain crew, once you get out of prison or once you get out of jail or wherever you're incarcerated at, you most likely shouldn't be hanging around the same
No.
people because you're
You hang out at the barber shop long enough, you're gonna get a haircut.
Yeah.
You're gonna do the same thing.
Shane always says, "Show me your friends,
Yeah, I'll show
And I'll show you you.
I'll show you your future."
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I only, you saw,
Yeah.
you met my circle.
Yeah.
My circle is small, and they're powerful,
Yeah.
and they're intimidating, and they're loving, and they're kind, and they're loyal, and they have the same common goal as me.
You want to win at life? Hang with winners.
Yeah.
You want to lose at life? Hang with losers. You know, I mean, that's what the deal is. You know, I mean, you're going to wherever you're at. I heard this girl one time say, she's like, you know what? I just knew in my past, like everyone was a freaking asshole. Like I just knew it because everyone's an asshole, and I knew that, and that's how I had to live. And then she says, well, as it actually turns out, I was only hanging out with assholes. It's actually a lot of people.
So true.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to be a winner? Hang out with fucking people that are winning.
Yeah.
You want to be a loser? Hang out
It's
with
not
people that
a
are losers.
puzzle.
It's not. It's not rocket science.
You want to be
Like-
happy? Do what the happy people are doing.
Yeah.
What do what the happy people are doing? And for some reason, I couldn't see it. I'm like, yeah, that looks like really lame.
Yeah.
It does look lame when you're stuck in that fucking
Mindset.
terminal hipness and fatal cool.
Yeah.
You know, when
Well-
you're stuck in that, like we probably, and I don't know what we look like to somebody that's miserable. I hope that we look attractive. I hope that, you know, that because, you know, even still, even when we're recovering out loud, it's still based on attraction. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
if like what we, if the life that we're living attracts you, give us a call.
Yeah.
We'll show you how we get to live this life today.
And we're down to show you. We're 100% down to show
100%.
you.
Yeah.
If your get down isn't working, try our get down.
Yeah. I mean, dude,
You know?
like everybody
Yeah.
that's sitting
Yeah.
in at this table right now, like I can guarantee you are living a life beyond their wildest dreams because
Hands
like
down.
our dream when we were in that spot, loaded, desperate, dark, thinking there was no way out, never would I thought that my life would be where it is today.
No, me neither.
Never.
Never.
I didn't think a life beyond my wildest dreams. Okay, so when this is the weird thing is because I felt screwed for two reasons. This last time at 42-year-old walking into another treatment center, I'm like, I'm screwed. I'm screwed, and I felt screwed for two reasons. One reason was I can't do the stuff that I really love to do because I love that stuff. I can't do that anymore because it's just going back to prison, ruining my life. I turned really freaking lost whenever I'm doing that. I can't do that anymore, and that's the stuff I love to do to make me feel good. And the other reason why I was just screwed is because I've been sober before.
Yeah.
100
Yeah.
times. And it was never great. I've been sober 100 times before that. Thousands of meetings, in and out of the room, thousands of times. I've been sober before, and it was never great.
Yeah.
It was always like I'd get 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, 6 months, a year. I'd get this, and I'm like, well, I got to feel bored like this forever. I didn't know that there was a process of change to do inner work. You know, I sat down with Sadhguru, and he has this thing about inner engineering. You know, we talk about inner engineering, and like that's what it is. It's inner engineering. All it is we don't see life as it actually is. We see life how we are. And the way that we see life is based upon the engineering on the inside. Is it full of darkness, pain, misery, confusion, fear? Then that engineered product, this looking out your eyeballs, this place does not look cool. It doesn't look cool. If you got just all this stuff, but if you go in here and you do some engineering and you throw out and release the shame and the guilt and the fear and the pain and the traumas, and you release that stuff, now you have positive qualities of spirit in here. Love, joy, happiness, peace, serenity. That's just rearranging in here. It's not rearranging out here.
Yeah.
It's inside. And then now this place is a life beyond my wildest dreams. Yes, I didn't know I could feel this way, stone cold, sober, abstinent. It's great now.
What a great analogy, right there, huh? Of just like never really thought about it that
fixing the inside.
It really made it simplistic, and it made a shit ton of sense because you know how they talk about when you go into recover into treatment or whatever at recovery, just in general, and they say, "Hey, the only thing you have to change is everything." Then you get there, you do everything that you just
I
talked.
hated that. I hated that. I'm like, no shit.
Everything.
I know, but
Clearly.
that's too much of a daunting.
They're actually wrong.
Yeah.
The only thing that you have to change, you only have to change one thing,
Yeah.
and that is your perception
Yes.
of everything. But you can't change your perception without doing what Danny just said.
Inner work.
Yeah.
Inner work.
Nothing on the outside.
This is the
You can
story-
go to the most posh fucking Malibu rehab, or you can go to the most crappy, dirty prison cell.
Prison cell. Yeah.
Let's just go there.
Yeah.
And you can find what you are looking for at either place as long as you're willing to do the inner work. And if you are focusing on what it looks like inside of the prison cell and that you need to change that, then, or a treatment center that you're at now, right now, I'm specifically talking to addicts that are in treatment and they're like, this is wrong, that's wrong. No, it's exactly what you need. It is exactly what you need. God wouldn't have put you here at this place, at this moment in time, if he didn't need you to fix that.
Yes, all the greats say the same thing. Eckhart Tolle, Tony Robbins, Simon Sinek, they all say the same thing, that life is happening for you, not to you as a victim. Life is happening for you. So we embrace the adversities and the challenges and the situations and the joy and the laughter. We accept it, but we're so taught not to accept stuff. I'm not accepting that. I'm not accepting that. That's crap. That's crap. That's crap. That's crap. You're wrong. You're wrong. You're wrong. They're wrong. They're wrong. They're wrong. They're wrong. And just you wind up looking all day long at everything that's wrong.
Yeah.
Or everything that you need.
Thing that's right.
I tell people, look at what's right every day. And you change this, and you change the way you see life. You change your insides. I call them the qualities of spirit. You have good, positive qualities of spirit. Love, joy, happiness, peace, serenity. You have negative qualities of spirit, and that's hate, anger, shame, fear, guilt, because it's an energy. It's a spiritual, when I'm hating, it's a spiritual energy in me. When I'm angry, it's a spiritual energy. And I'm seeing life based upon that energy. If I'm angry and frustrated and someone needs help, hell no. Right now is not a good time. But if I have love and compassion and joy and peace and serenity in me, absolutely, I'm super down to help. Then you're adding value. Yeah, it's an inside job.
It is.
It's an inside job.
Well, damn, Danny, I could literally go on for another 2 hours.
No, it's great.
For real. But we've already been an hour and a half and then some, which fucking great ass podcast. Yeah. Shane, do you got anything that you want to really, give?
Yeah, I do. I want to give this. Whether you're suffering from substance abuse, you still have mental health issues.
Yeah.
And it's nice to think that they could get up in the morning, but it's not that easy at times. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
For sure. They need to make that call. And I'll tell you something. When I'm in a bad mood and when I'm feeling down, I force myself to get to work. I force myself to answer the phone, especially because when I answer that fucking telephone and I try to help somebody, I'm feeling brand new.
You want to have a bad day? Think about yourself. You want to have a great day? Add value to somebody else.
There we go.
Woo!
That's
you guys just added value to my life now.
That's really what the acts of service is.
Yeah.
That's why I always trip myself out, because every time I tell my sponsor I don't want another girl sponsor,
Boom.
But then I'll end up getting one, right? But in a selfish manner, I know what happens when I do sponsor and give away, because ultimately it comes back and fills me.
Yes.
So it's selfish.
That's why they call it selfish programming. I do this. We do this.
Yeah,
we do this stuff because we like the effects. The effects produced by doing this.
Yeah.
It's beautiful effects. That's why we do it. Same reason we got loaded, because we like the effect.
Yep.
And that was
the effects of the thing about the effects of getting loaded, though, it eventually doesn't work anymore.
No.
This that we do continues to work and continues to grow and continues to get better.
This has legs.
Yeah. And you get to do that. You get to do that self evaluation. Do I want to get loaded today? No. The answer is fuck no.
No.
Fuck no.
No.
I don't.
Yeah.
I do, but I don't want the consequences, bro. I'm sorry. The truth is, I'd like to smoke a little crack.
If Shane could smoke crack today, he would definitely
I would do
crack.
it. If I could smoke crack on the weekend, come to work on Monday, I'm in 100%, but I know I can't. There's no point.
Yeah, I don't want to change the way I feel.
No.
Yeah.
Weird.
No.
I don't want to change the way I feel.
It's really-
I've never lived that way.
Yeah,
I've
me
always
either.
wanted to change the way I feel.
Always.
Yeah.
I don't want to change the way I feel.
I like Chad. I like this version of Chad. Like
yeah.
not
So
all the
rad.
time, but
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
90% of the time.
90% we're
I
okay.
like this guy.
I'm like
You know,
85.
the 10%, man, is, and it's actually not this version of Chad. The 10% is when the addict creeps in
Yeah.
and he starts lying to me,
Yeah.
or the trauma from my
yeah.
childhood creeps in and he starts telling me, Chad, you're fat.
Yeah.
You're a fucking piece of shit.
Yeah.
You've hurt a lot of people. You're going to hurt people again. I mean, it tells
Yeah.
me these things
Yeah.
to try to give me fear, anger, resentment, shame,
Yeah.
guilt.
The disease speaks
It does.
inside of our head in our own voice,
Yes.
and we think it's us.
Oh, yeah.
It's not us.
I mean, it was telling me
not us.
today. It was like, Chad, you need to fucking eat better. You ate cheesecake last night. You ate wedding cake. You ate fucking 2 plates of food.
Yeah, lardo.
And, yeah, and then I was like, it was like I was in
That's
shaving
what
my head, and
tells
I
us.
was like, fucking El Gato Gordo in the fucking mirror right there. Then this is
That's
funny.
a lie,
then
dude.
I'm like cruising through SNA airport, and I run into this politician lady that I know.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna mention her name, Lori Davies.
Okay.
And she was talking to some guy, and I said, Lori Davies, is that you? And she looked at me and she was like, fuck, I know you, but I don't know where from. Right? Anyways, the guy that she was talking to goes, man, I need to start working out at the gym where this guy goes. That's what he said to her. And I was like, where this fat fucker goes? Because this fat fuck guy.
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That fat fucker. And I walked away. I was like, that's Lifetime is where I work out. Anyway, I kept going. And I told my wife, I said, man, I was really being hard on myself this morning. And then that guy says that to me.
And you're like, okay.
I was
A
like,
little better.
just a little bit,
A
right?
little better.
You know, but actually, I do actually work on my outside a bit too.
Yeah.
To not as much as I used to. I used to be a freak. Like it had to
Yeah,
be
yeah, yeah,
that was my
yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
Until I realized that was actually not my everything. But I do believe that health is wealth, and you need to.
It's body, mind, and spirit.
Body, mind,
it's
and
body,
spirit.
mind, and spirit. You gotta, you gotta cover them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you too much on
And
one area.
we only do
body-
mocho donuts at our recovery meetings because they
Mocho
have
donut. Health donut.
Oh my goodness.
Anyways, Danny.
Yeah,
again,
bro.
Yeah, thank you so
I
much,
go off on
Danny.
tangents.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Were we
You're
live?
Welcome.
We are live.
Did we go live?
Yeah.
What?
Did you do this live on YouTube? Oh, thank God. Fuck.
Wait, why would she do that?
I thought we were live on YouTube.
I thought we were
Why?
live.
We've never done that.
We're starting to.
Oh.
We're starting to live from the website.
I don't know.
No, because you know
I
you
don't-
might
I
need
think-
to edit
well, no,
out
I
that
think
one
our
thing that I
website is like not ready for that.
I think it is.
I gotta give a little plug.
Yes, go ahead. Plug,
Okay.
plug away.
Yeah, I do a little thing on TikTok and Instagram, and it's called the Sober Spot, and I do a little something every day, just a little motivation.
Ooh,
so
I
if you
need
want
to-
to
I
find
need to
that,
find
it's
that.
the Sober
I
Spot.
found it.
Yeah,
He
I
popped
heard.
up in my room. Instagram, the Sober
Instagram,
Spot, guys.
TikTok.
Check it out.
Yeah,
Um,
just super important to carry the message, and thank you guys so freaking much.
We'll
This has been so
what is
rad.
it?
the Sober
Sober Spot.
It's actually a cool fucking name too.
Yeah, the Sober Spot.
Motherfucker's got 25K or something like that on
Mm-hmm.
TikTok. He's a TikToker.
Wait, so the sober.
I'm a TikToker.
You're a TikToker.
55 years old. A TikToker.
You're insane.
That's okay.
Danny, thank you so much. You're
Hey,
the
thank
bomb.com.
you.
I appreciate you, and it's pretty incredible.
Is there any
Congratulations
way
on
we
everything
could
that
get
you've
bomb.com?
Thank
and
you.
like just continue to do. And the way that you spread your message is God put it in you, because not many people, there's a lot of us out there that work a program or something, but it's very difficult for those to carry the message and kind of get people to listen.
Yeah.
You know, and you're that guy.
Thank
Yeah.
you so
it's
much.
really,
I
really cool.
appreciate you.
Yeah,
Thank
for
you
sure.
so much.
It's really nice
Yeah.
to sit across and listen to you. And now I'm really excited because now I have something to tune into every day.
The Sober Spot.
It's been an honor with you guys.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, for real. It's the universe, God just has a way of putting
How
people.
cool was it though? Like that, the one guy that brought us together was somebody that in my life is influential. And
Humongous.
That's Judge Matthew
Anderson. Yeah.
retired.
Retired. Yeah. And he's an amazing human being.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
He is.
amazing.
He the principles that we live by today were the ones that we were lost with, and we were trying to learn. He understands this realm big time because he lives that.
And he cares.
He lives where he.
Your drug one, right?
Yeah, that's my drug court judge. Where are you going?
He's amazing.
That was so cute,
Right?
That was so. I have to go pee pee.
How funny though? So Judge Anderson,
Yeah.
Oh,
he
but you know what?
he-
Enough with the Snickers back there.
he put me in custody one time.
Yeah.
Yeah, for a diluted drug test.
Yeah.
He looked at me and he said, "Chad, I don't believe you." And
You're going to jail.
You're going to jail.
You're going
today."
to jail.
They gave me a heads up though, so I had to. I went. That was the cool thing about Judge Anderson. You got a heads up before you were going to jail, so that you didn't
Dress
have to wear.
appropriately.
Yes, because otherwise we had to wear like collared shirts and
Yeah,
everything to
you're
his
fucked.
courtroom. But on the day you were going into custody,
You
you
could
could
bundle up.
you could wear a hoodie.
Bundle up with
You
a
could-
hoodie.
yeah, you can wear a hoodie.
Freaking,
Go through the loop.
yeah, the loop.
That's one of my booking
So gnarly.
photos is a sober booking photo. It's
Yeah.
the only one where I'm sober.
It actually isn't, going through sober.
It's not as bad.
No, I didn't even know. I had a 6 months sober. I had to go in for anyway. I had to go in. I had a dirty test, but 6 months sober.
Yeah.
My sobriety's in January. Anyway, I did, but I went through stone cold sober, and
Yeah.
it really wasn't like.
Yeah, I had
Like,
to do
why-
10 days with half
Why
on
was
a
it so bad before? 'Cause
on
of,
a
like,
driving
kicking
on
drugs.
suspended.
Yeah,
10 days with half.
yeah.
You know what?
I
And
did
here's
10
the-
days. 10-day flash.
Here's the shitty part, man. So I'm a yellow bander, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's two-man cells locked down, and I mean that's where the gangsters are.
Yeah.
And I'm in there, and they're like, "What are you in for?" And I'm like, 10 days with half for driving on a suspended. Like, what the fuck are you doing in the yellow bander
Yeah,
chamber?
yeah,
Once
yeah,
you're in there, you're like in there, right?
Yeah. Well, since you're here, you got to go beat this guy up. Yeah. You got to put a little work.
Oh man. Thank God they were pretty cool to me. And just like you know what I did is I bought a shit ton of commissary,
Yeah.
like a shit ton.
Yeah, and you made a lot of friends.
And I fucking I dropped because you're locked down 24 hours every day. I mean 23 hours. You get 1 hour.
23 hours a day.
Yeah, you get 1 hour a
23
day room.
1 hour.
So and it's not everybody out, and you get. I think they let 4 people out at a time to take a shower.
Yeah.
And use the phone.
Yeah.
And that's it. So on my way out, I dropped a big fucking bag with the white rep, so that
Yes.
just to make them happy.
Hey, good looking out.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, we gotta go. We got Vox
Okay.
Bob.